Hey guys, welcome to Herding Little Cows. So this video is a little different. We've had a really stressful day over here today. I was awoken at about 5:15 this morning to Josiah having a grand mal seizure, which he's never had before. For any of you who know us, Josiah has been having seizures for multiple years now, but he has had kind of different ones. Sometimes he's a little confused. Sometimes his eyes will go to the side like this, and he just looks like he's not paying attention. And most recently, he'll just get stiff, whereas one arm will just get stiff, and he'll hold on to you with his other hand. So his hand that he doesn't have use of will just get stiff, and that leg will get stiff. And recently, he doesn't really like fall. His leg just gets stiff, and so he starts to lose his balance because he can't straighten that leg. Like he can't correct himself when he's having this. So we'll go help him get down to the floor. But nothing that we were worried about him safety-wise other than if he were to fall really hard. But if you had seen the seizures, you would understand that he doesn't really fall during them. Anyway, all of that to say, he has been having more seizures the last 2 weeks, I guess. We had called the neurologist and we had upped the dosage of medication that he was taking, but he was still having more. But none of the seizures themselves were scary and different for us. I mean, maybe scary for someone who hadn't seen them, but for us, they were just all the same type of seizure. And we were even commenting yesterday that maybe the double dose of medication was working because yesterday he only had 3, and they were all very short. Like he just had 3 very short seizures. Sorry, he's over there, so we're just paying attention to him. So the ones yesterday, like sometimes he would get stiff to the point we'd help him get down on the ground and stuff. These ones, by the time you even touched him, he was coming out of it. So we were like, okay, maybe the medicine's working. Well, this morning I was woken up to hearing noise in the other room, realized somebody was struggling, and I went in and he was having a grand mal seizure. And I don't want to share all the details and everything right now, but we ended up having to get him off the bed, and we ended up having to give him an emergency medication. It's Valium, something like that. It was given to us by the neurologist, and it's to help him, diazepam, to come out of the seizure. So it just makes him really tired, and it makes his body kind of turn off everything, and he was able to stop the seizing. But then he slept for multiple hours, except for some restless times of waking up and throwing up, which can be a part of the medication, or that's something that Josiah occasionally does with his seizures. So that part wasn't weird, but it was just how the day went, was dealing with his first grand mal seizure, and it was scary. The kids all saw it because it happened first thing in the morning, and I needed Samuel to get up and come stay with the baby who was just in his regular sleeping spot. We didn't want him to go anywhere. We had to get the big girls to come help with Uriah because Uriah shares the room. So he woke up seeing his brother on the floor, very stiff. It was a day that mommy had to sit on the couch and just keep eyes on Josiah all day because we needed to watch for his breathing. He came out of it by about noon. He was awake from the medication and much more like himself and was able to eat a little bit. And we were able to go outside and enjoy some of the day, but he still had the small seizure activity that we've been seeing. So that's, when you've seen our questions on Facebook and stuff today, that's what we're asking about. We're trying to find ways to make sure that Josiah is staying safe. He is 7.5, almost 8 years old. And so, his brother, who's 10, can't really help much because he's just about the same size as him. Size-wise, we're trying to figure out how to make sure that Josiah stays safe. This is things that we are working with our neurologist with, and they have put him on a new medication that we will start. And we have a new medication for the emergency stuff, a new prescription, so we can have that. But we're just looking for ways to keep him safe, make sure that we've done everything that we need to do. We don't like having to share stuff like this, but we want you guys to know how you can be praying for us. With the stuff that we already have in the house, we have access to be able to take care of all of this, and this is something we knew could be coming, but we had not had one for him yet. Mark and I have both dealt with grand mal seizures in dealing with other people, but this was the first one we've seen in our own child, and that's very different. So just so everybody knows, he's good tonight. He's sleeping right here on my floor, so I can watch him. We have the medication that we need. We are just asking the questions so we can make sure going forward that we keep everybody safe. But just so you know, things are covered on our end, but you can just be praying for us as a new type of normal comes into our household, and we have to make sure that we have things in place to make sure Josiah stays okay. And we can do that. We know that God has a plan in all of this, but that's where we are today. So thanks for praying for us. We'll see you next time.